Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of the core class, a byproduct of www.witchcrafttv.online. Yes, we had segments of the core class about 2 years ago where we dive deep into Hermetics. And those classes, you can check them out right there on the website, right here on Witchcraft TV. Bridging ancient truths in modern witchcraft, we are the core craft tradition. So welcome, seekers, to a journey of transformation. Today, we step into a space where ancient wisdom meets modern practice. It's a course built upon Hermetic teachings, natural law, and contemporary witchcraft. Together, these foundations form the core craft tradition, a path that invites us to embrace personal alchemy as both a spiritual practice and a tool for profound change in our lives, in our communities. Exploring Hermetic philosophy, Hermetics teaches us that all things are connected, that reality is shaped by forces we can understand and work with. By mastering this inner transmutation, we learn to refine ourselves and influence the world around us. This practice isn't just theoretical, it's a timeless guide for navigating the challenges of modern life. Aligning with natural law provides the underlying structure. Both the cosmos and our moral existence speaks to the balance and order that governs life itself, empowering us to act in integrity and attune ourselves to universal truths. The magic of contemporary witchcraft, it's a living, evolving tradition, one that honors the past while embracing innovation. It calls us to reclaim ancient symbols and rituals, infusing them with personal insight and creativity. This practice is about empowerment, mystery, and the courage to redefine magic in today's world. We're going to bring it all together. In this class, we unite these three powerful forces into a cohesive, transformative practice, whether your path is guided by inner alchemy, universal laws, or personal expression through witchcraft. Here you will find the tools to deepen your understanding and reshape your world. And trust me when I say you can reshape your world, because I've done it. I'm a burden of proof. Let us step forth with open minds and open hearts, ready to bridge past wisdom with present challenges in a craft, a future aligned with our highest ideals. Welcome to the journey. As far as highest ideals go, you know that I've been talking about that for a very long time. And I'm still today striving to reach my highest ideals. First off, I want to talk about the immutable laws. That is the very foundation of what the core craft tradition is all about. Actually, there's three foundational pillars that I've fastened together that is going to be the cornerstones of what is the core craft tradition. And the first is immutable laws, the Hermetic principles, the laws of universal truths of magic. And I really like these laws because they're immutable. And to me, immutable means something that simply is and can never be argued with, that they aren't so. I love a craft that can't be argued with. I'm just in love with the concept that it's not something that any scholar or sage or witch or magical practitioner around the globe can ever argue about successfully. So the truth is magic doesn't exist in isolation. The laws that govern the physical world, magic is shaped by these fundamental principles. Rules are as constant as the rising sun, the setting sun, the rising moon, and setting moon. in the seasons of the year. It's just constant. It's just always going to happen. These laws matter. The immutable laws matter. Drawing from the Hermetic wisdom in natural laws, these principles, they govern all magical operations. They guide spellcraft, rituals, and conscious manifestation, ensuring that all of our intentions align with the deeper rhythms of the universe. Law of mentalism, all is mind, everything in existence originates from our thoughts, from our consciousness. The universe itself is a mental construct, meaning reality is shaped by perception and intention. This law teaches that by mastering your thoughts, you can influence your reality. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Law of correspondence, and this is a real popular one, in occultism everywhere, as above, so below, as within, so without. Patterns repeat across different levels of reality. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm, meaning the structures of the universe mirror those within ourselves. Understanding this allows practitioners to align their inner world with external manifestations. All about within, all about the self. And I've been learning, and we can learn together, that when we change ourselves within, the world around us starts to change. Law of vibration. Everything moves, everything vibrates. All matter and energy exist in a state of constant motion. Different frequencies determine the nature of existence. By attuning yourself to higher vibrations, meditation, ritual, or music, like I like to do, you can shift your reality. Law of polarity, everything has an opposite. Everything. Sun and moon, for an example. Light and dark, expansion and contraction. These forces are not separate, but different degrees of the same essence. Recognizing polarity helps practitioners harness opposing forces for balance and transformation. The law of rhythm, everything flows in cycles. Nature moves in patterns, seasons, tides, life cycles, moon phases, creating balance and momentum. Understanding this law helps practitioners work with natural rhythms rather than against them, ensuring harmony in magical and also in personal endeavors. Law of cause and effect, every action has a reaction. Magic operates through intention and consequence. What is sent out does returns in kind. This law reinforces the importance of mindful action, as every spell, thought, and deed influences the greater web of reality. One thing that comes to mind is when Raymond Buckland went to a show to be interviewed, he talked about this a little bit. And that's kind of where the law of three of return came from. That karmic times three. Whatever you put out in the world comes back times three. And I'm not so sure that it actually is a times three. I think Uncle Buck was probably on the spot during that interview show. But it definitely embraces the concept of law in cause and effect. Law of gender. And this is kind of a touchy one, particularly with current societal norms. But let's face it, as far as the Kabbalion goes, in Hermetic law, masculine and feminine exists in all things. There's female chromosomes in me, and I acknowledge that. Similar like the yin and yang symbol. Creation requires the interplay of active and receptive forces. This law is not about biological sex, but about the balance between assertive and nurturing energies. Mastering this principle allows for a greater creative and magical potency. Each of these laws form the foundation of magical practice, shaping how energy moves and manifests. By understanding these laws, you empower your craft and refine your connection to cosmic order. These laws they're not like abstract, they're practical keys to unlocking deeper magical mastery. by mastering yourself. By working with them, you refine both your craft and your understanding of yourself. Natural law serves as both a moral compass and an energetic framework in magical practice. Ethically, it teaches the values like integrity, respect, and balance, that they're not random. And I think ethics is something that the witchcraft and pagan communities really need to take a look at. Recently, there's been all kinds of mudslinging. Everybody's always throwing mud. Okay, where did our ethics go? Integrity, respect, and balance. They're not random. They emerge naturally from the order of the universe. Energetically, it reminds us that everything is vibrating at a unique frequency by allowing these frequencies to happen through ritual, meditation, intentional actions. You work in harmony with the universe rather than struggling against it, working with the natural ebbs and flows. I think that's witchcraft at its core. In magic, every spell and ritual is a conversation with these universal forces. You're not simply moving energy. You're engaging with a living system that reflects both the moral and vibrational rhythms of the cosmos, the microcosm and the macrocosm. Recognize this, transform your craft into a practice of alignment, responsibility, and respect for Mother Nature's inherent order. By understanding the natural law, you can see that your magical work is a part of the greater web of cause and effect. Every thought, every action, and intention shapes your reality. You create what you're going through right now. This invites a heightened awareness where magic is not about the change, but about conscious co-creation with the universe. The core metaphysical law of nature. These foundational principles reflect the deep energetic patterns that govern all existence. Law of divine oneness. Everything is connected. Every thought and action creates ripples across the entire web of life. Law of vibration. All things vibrate at specific frequencies. Aligning these with frequencies that helps create change reality. The law of correspondence. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Nice to have you here. I'm just going through some of my notes. Law of rhythm. Everything moves in cycles, seasons, tides, itself. Rhythm maintains balance in the cosmos. Law of cause and effect, which we went over before. Every action has a reaction, intention, and deep shaped reality. The law of balance. The universe maintains equilibrium between opposites, light and dark, creation and destruction. And speaking of the balance within creation, it reminds me a lot of, the whole thing where we have our political shifting, where a lot of the community is kind of attacking, even magically, and with the political landscapes. By attacking them, it kind of gives them more power than it is by trying to shape what led it to happen altogether. It's a very deep situation when you apply hermetics into things like, politics. So many different leaders and elders are talking about political situations. And I really wish that the entire core of the craft would swing back to being servants of nature. The law of transmutation is a big one, something that I'm going through personally. Energy never disappears, it changes form. Understanding this allows to transform challenges into growth. The whole concept of the revival in Wicca of contemporary witchcraft, it's all about transmutation, transforming into something different all the time. It's always going to be evolving. Transmutation is the process of changing something from one form into another. It can be understood in different contexts. Transmutation, it has an alchemy context. It's that legendary practice of turning base metals like lead into gold. How many stories and folklore have we heard of that? The medieval alchemists, they sought physical formation. Physics and chemistry, not my cup of tea per se, but the conversion of one element into another, probably with some kind of like radioactor and all these things. But the transmutation that I really adore is the magical and spiritual practices of transmutation, the conscious shifting of energy, turning fear into courage, stagnation into growth, or negative emotions into wisdom. Anytime that you can turn a negative situation into a positive situation, you, my friend, are doing transmutational magic, and it's very, very, very pretty. In the Corecraft tradition, transmutation is about harnessing opposing forces and refining them into something higher. It's not about rejecting challenges, but transforming them into sources of power and insight. Polarity and transmutation, refinement through opposing forces. They're powerful tools. Polarity, the world exists in pairs. And this is seen when we look in the mirror. If you look in the mirror with your face, half of your face is mirroring the other side of your face. It's the polarity. Everything works in pairs, light and dark, joy and sorrow, creation and destruction. These opposites are not separate forces, but different expressions of the same energy. Even where, and this is very hard for me as I dig deeper in everything, but I was talking about the political landscapes. Even in politics, there's two opposing forces, but they're the same energy with different agendas, I imagine. And those agendas ebbs and flows as time goes on. In 30 years, I predict that the Republican Party will turn into the Democratic Party because it's a cycle. Recognizing this helps us move beyond rigid, either a thinking and seeing challenges as part of the greater whole. The path of the Corecraft tradition is not about forcing the change. It's about understanding and working with the energies of the universe. And we have Sophia. Sophia, thank you so much for joining us from England. Love that you have us here. Awesome. Great.
Glad to be with you, Harold.
Awesome. But yes, we're kind of just going over the fundamentals of the core class, and Sophia was involved in the first round of core classes, I think 1 or 2 years ago, where we dived really deep in those classes. Every one of them can be found on the Witchcraft TV website. When you go to the top right-hand corner, you can look under the Corecraft tradition, and all of those classes, I think there's 22 of them, all about the Hermetic principles. In these classes, I'm going to get more in tune with taking that as a foundation of a tradition of the craft that I think that needs to be expressed in the name of Hermes and Thoth. I think that it is definitely time. The path of the Corecraft tradition is it's not about forcing the change. It's about understanding and working with the energies of the universe. By embracing the polarity and the transmutation, we turn these obstacles into stepping stones and refining our craft to practice more awareness, more adaptation, and more mastery, and hopefully mastering ourselves. This approach invites you to see magic as an active dialogue where every thought indeed shapes reality and every challenge holds the potential for transformation. There's been several magical orders that has incorporated these immutable laws of magic into their teachings and practices. Some of the most well-known ones are the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, there were people like, I believe, Dion Fortune, Mathers, Aleister Crowley, Israel Regardie. These were all people that were involved in that particular order. One of the most influential Western esoteric orders of its time. It integrated Hermetic principles, Kabbalah, ceremonial magic, the laws of mentalism, the correspondences, the vibration, all that we've been talking about. Another one that incorporates these immutable laws of magic is the OTO, which is still alive and active today. Telema, founded by Aleister Crowley, and incorporated the law of gender and polarity in its magical framework. The Christian mystics, and I think they're Gnostic, the Rosicrucian orders, focus on spiritual enlightenment and alchemy, transmutation. I think transmutation is definitely the word of the day. But yeah, and there's all kinds of other orders too. And one thing that I've always said, and even the last time we had rounds of the core class, was that only with the sweat of your brow are you going to obtain like the magical power. And it's kind of, a lot of these lectures are kind of boring, and I definitely will try to make it fun. I'm going to show you how I cast circles, how I do rituals, and all kinds of different things that can bring us closer to unseen spiritual thing, raise the aura. And with enough dedication of the sweat of your brow, anybody that comes to these classes, and I know quite a bit of people are going to come to the classes and watch them later. I'm pretty sure of that. But with dedication to it, I guarantee that when you walk into a room and you haven't seen somebody for a while, they're going to come to you and they're going to say, "Hey, have you lost weight? Have you been working out? Man, you look great." And the reason why they're going to say that is because your aura is going to be shining so bright, then it's going to be the only way that they can describe to you that you must have, changed your appearance, because you look great. And I wrote something similar to and it's actually taken from, I mentioned the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. And in the beginning, the Golden Dawn was basically founded by, I believe, Rosicrucians in the beginning. And one of the things that they say is only with the sweat of your brow will you obtain magical power. And it really means that it means that you can't just be like a TikTok witch. You have to really apply to yourself, and lots of studying. And you got to be so hungry that your thirst for it is like the breath of air that you take. Like, hold your head underwater and gasp for air. That's how much you need to be hungry. I know that I'm hungry, and I've been really trying to walk the path as best as I can. So yeah, with hands worn by labor and minds sharpened by wisdom, we stand before the sacred fire, bearing the fruits of our toil. Magic is not given, it is earned through relentless pursuit. Each spell, each rite is a testament to our dedication. No shortcut shall tempt us, no ease shall distract us, for only through discipline do the mysteries unfold. As we close the sacred work, may our efforts bear true power. May our deeds honor the path we walk. From the forge of will we craft continues, and in the heart of our striving magic rises anew. If you guys just showed up, thank you so much, Kimberly, for dropping by. Sophia, you've been a longtime supporter of my work, of Witchcraft TV, of everything. You're here today. I'm so glad that you're here. I really thought it was time. As I walk the path, as I walk around my country, the United States of America, as a seeker, and dealing with so many organizations and families of the crafts and groups, and seeing what's really going on behind the scenes, I know that this is the right thing to do. I just do. It just feels right. There's a sense of integrity that's being lost, and there's a sense of, I just feel like, why aren't our modern leaders and shakers and movers, why do they not take their craft and apply it with these principles from the Kabbalion and the Hermetic principles, particularly with all of the political things that are going on? And I get it. People are scared out there. People are really scared and concerned. I get it. But some of the actions that's going on, all it's really doing is strengthening the opposition, because they wouldn't exist if it wasn't for them. It's giving them power. And I think that transmutation is the way to really make a change. And how to do that exactly, I haven't yet figured out. But as we dive into this whole thing, together, and I've always disliked the terminology as I'm a teacher. I feel like more of a guide, because I too am a seeker too. But I'm thank you so much for y'all stopping by and checking out the presentation. Just so many different traditions and paths that I've been with, and a lot of them won't entertain you as a student because their motive is of money and things. And I'm pretty positive that with our British traditional witches out there, that's one of their tenets, is to, when you charge money, your motive becomes different, and your motive becomes money and not anything else. And it seems like the only exception is, tarot card reading, it seems, but just interesting topics. Another thing that I want to point out is when it comes to initiations in the craft, I listened to a documentary with the very man who brought Wicca to America. His name was Raymond Buckland. And I listened to a documentary with him, and he said during an interview that every bit of mystery, of oath-bound, anything is documented somewhere out there already, but it's up to the seeker to find it. And I always adhered to that, because as long as I indulge with media and witchcraft with every different family, it just seems like whoever I'm working with at the time, because who I'm working with them, they all of a sudden want to detach from working with me because they have particular biases. And it's very unfortunate the community does this. And I get it. It's almost like, well, we are a tribal community, so it's just bound to happen. But it's very upsetting. And I don't know if I ever can make a difference, or even if I should, or even if I can. But it'd be interesting to put the Hermetic type of test to maybe getting along, so to speak. Does anyone have any questions or comments or anything? I want to open up the floor, so it's not just me talking.
Harold, we are all humans. This is what unites us.
Right. Yes, we are humans. Definitely get it. Definitely get it.
And yes, you are correct about Ray Buckland saying that everything is out there already published. I can't remember the name of the book, but it's a Alexandrian book, and I'm pretty certain that it was by Alexander himself, and he had to withdraw the first edition because it contained too many oath-bound secrets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that same situation happened here in America too, with Aiden Kelly in the 70s, like the same type of thing. I just feel like at the end of the day, the revival of contemporary witchcraft is this evolving, and as long as it keeps evolving, we will never die. It will always be reborn somewhere. And I feel like this particular core class and tradition that is manifesting from a platform of a seeker and witchcraft online television, I feel like it's part of that evolution, or I'm definitely contributing, and we as a collective, that they're a part of, the circuit, are contributing to the revival. And that's all very, very special and important to me. Very special and important.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And it's great having you as our guide for the core tradition.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's about all I have. I'm going to be consistent with repetitional power every Sunday at this time. I'm not sure what time it is in England, Sophia, or anybody else's time is in.
It's midnight in England, because we have British summertime, which puts us another hour in front of you.
That's terrific. The witching hour in England. I love it. I love it. We're close to there. So yeah, absolutely. Next Sunday, same time, same place. We'll see what comes up or what spirit moves for this. I think casting a circle is in the future. I think Kabbalistic magic is in the future. I think the explanations and functions of elemental weapons are in the trajectory. I'm feeling like we can explore a lot of things together. Thank you so much for everyone's time. This will be on the social media, and it will also be rebroadcasting on Witchcraft TV with our very own Corecraft tradition. And even though we now have our own tradition of, the Witchcraft TV circuit and media platform, we still welcome and honor all pagans, all witches, and all magical paths right here in Witchcraft TV. Blessed it be. Mwah. To everyone, thank you so much for putting up with my witchcraft crazy.
Blessed be, and everyone attending.
Witchcraft TV t-shirts are now available.
Wow.
Witchy Kids Network tees right here on our website. Order yours today and support the hottest online witchcraft television station on the planet.
Wow!
Your very own Witchcraft TV teddy bear to cuddle while watching your favorite Witchcraft TV show. Try our Witchcraft TV multivitamins for good health. Never miss your favorite Witchcraft TV show with our official wall clock. Drape yourself with Witchcraft TV pride with our jewelry. With our official coffee mug, you can sip in style and watch your favorite shows. These collectibles are available now, right here on our website under Witchcraft TV merchandise.